Welcome to this week's Whole Wheat Costa. I'm Jay here with Kev. Tonight we have our beer table. It's I think we had it last year. It's
Yeah,
Yingling Oktoberfest.
this has become a yearly tradition as the podcast drags on in a year or two.
Yeah, it's a red brownish color.
that's
It
a
looks it looks
that's a
like
beer
the
facts.
yeah it looks like the color of the pea if you drink too many of these.
It is it is kind of nice. It is more orangey than like regular, like more of like a like an amber or brownish sort of lager. This is a little more orangey. Feels real fall. I mean, I just like it in the bottle better. JD's got his pinky up in the glass and shit, but
Yeah, I always drink out of a glass because I'm not an animal.
yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not real sophisticated.
Yeah. So it's kind of warm. It's not terrible, but it's pretty warm.
Yeah,
One time Rob and I went. I forget where we were. It was either a bar or a person's house,
yeah.
and they were serving like Coors Lights.
Hmm.
So we were like dumping the bottles upside down in the cups, and like ice in it because we didn't want to be there. So we just kept joking around.
Yeah.
And like, how are you gonna waste beer? We're like, well, it's Coors Light.
Yeah,
So,
it's not really beer. It's
yeah. So,
marginally beer.
yeah, we were drinking beer with ice and like pouring it upside down, like having the cups like 10% beer, 90% foam, like head.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. It was the same alcohol content basically as if
Yeah.
you just drank straight Coors Light.
So talk about my 5K that was mostly mud and a beer fest I went to.
I probably run 5K over the last year combined.
Yeah.
Um, I occasionally get the urge to run like down the street, like as an adult male, just like a weirdo.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's usually like at night. I think one's around, or if they are, like whatever.
Like run down the
It's fine.
street like to get ice cream or like actually run
Just
down the
just
street?
like sometimes, like I don't know. I think I talked about it before. I think from having kids because they just like run sometimes, and you just in your head you're like, I just want to run.
I
So
if I'm by myself, like if I park at ShopRite, like in
Yeah.
the back, like I'll just jog up to the front. I
Yeah.
always do. Anytime I'm by myself.
oh fuck, I don't jog. I mean, I like sprint like
Oh, you
as far as I can go,
You straight sprint.
and then I stop, and then I walk, but I'm like severely out of breath, and then I like walk into the house, and it looks like I just had a heart attack of some sort.
Most importantly, I think it's in the car still.
Yeah.
For this 5K, the medal was huge.
Hmm.
Like it was huge. It was probably the size of like a grapefruit. Like that's how big it was. But 2 dimensional.
It was a 5 kilogram medal.
It was. So it was a pumpkin run.
Yeah.
So you go to a farm, and at the end of it, you get apple cider, which
Yeah.
was pretty delicious. I'm
Yeah.
not a big apple cider fan,
Oh.
and you get like a small pumpkin. If you saw it before you walked in the studio, it's on the table outside.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Maybe-
It's pretty amazing.
Maybe you can put it on the Instagram.
Yeah, and so it rained all Friday night, and then it rained up until about the point I got there.
Hmm.
So it was muddy.
Real muddy.
Yeah. So my time was 38 minutes, which sounds pretty bad.
I have no idea.
So the quickest time was 30 minutes and 28 seconds, which is
Really?
typically about 19-20 minutes,
Yeah.
but it was so muddy. So
Huh.
I finished 273 out of 1909,
All right.
which to me sounds pretty good.
And the top 280.
Yeah.
So
And I was the 89th male to
okay.
complete. So
It's more of like a lady sport.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did that. So I felt pretty good about it.
I guess like they're lighter, so they would go over the mud easier.
No, I'm getting to that.
Yeah.
So here's the mud story.
Yeah.
So it was mostly uphill.
Yeah.
Like most of the thing was uphill. And it wasn't until like the last maybe half a mile that you start running like zigzag downhill.
Oh, that sounds
like-
terrible in mud.
yeah.
They just roll. Just fuck
Yeah.
it.
So you start running. So it's mostly, uphill. So it's pretty terrible. But all the flat parts were pretty terrible too. So the uphill, no
Yeah.
one can run uphill. Like you
Yeah.
just have to like walk as fast as you possibly could.
Yeah.
So you go uphill, and then the flat parts were complete mud.
Mm.
So it's pretty much anybody that was under 100 pounds could run across the mud. And
Yeah.
then anybody my size and up, because we had like strong enough legs to like rip our feet out of the mud. So everybody else had to like tiptoe through the mud, like just take their time. But I would only run through the mud. Every other place, like I would just jog, like I would full sprint through the mud, just splashing everyone. It was great. And then the downhill, you just slid all the way down.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it was eventful. It was fun, but
So I feel like next time you do a 5K, tell me, I'll sign up for like the 1K, like the fun walk.
I'll still beat you.
Like all the people with like heart disease and shit that are like they like can't run anymore, or like people with like missing legs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'll walk with them. Like, they're old people. It's fine.
You can just go in the back corral where the people walk the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of things for the Instagram, I took a picture of this for Snapchat, so I didn't take another picture for Instagram. But I got my first Disney shirt today from we go to Disney. It's Gaston holding like with his like the scene where he's holding up all the women on the bench, and it's no one lifts like Gaston. So
Is Gaston's the one that blew up his head or something like that, right? And Disney,
no,
he put firecrackers in his head or something, and he
don't think
died or
so.
something.
no, he gets killed by the Beast.
No, I mean
which is
no,
bullshit.
no. I meant like at the park.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm unaware of that.
Yeah. I know you don't like it, but I have to look it up because I think that's hilarious. So after that, I went home, took a nap, did some schoolwork, and went to a beer fest. And we're talking about pumpkin ale. I had one pumpkin ale, and that's the Dogfish. Dogfish had pumpkin ale because
like-
it doesn't taste like pumpkin at all.
But like, why would you even go to a beer fest in October and not have more pumpkin products?
Well, there was only like 2 or 3 pumpkin.
You're basically not a
products.
white girl at all.
I'm not. Yeah, so it was basically like there was like 3 or 4 probably pumpkin, and then the rest of them were stouts. So I'll go to the Oktoberfest because all the stouts and porters start coming
Yeah.
out. Like the spring Oktoberfest is like the hoppier beers. Well, there's a bunch of hoppy beers too, but the stouts and porters, which are like my favorite beers, and like they're all high alcohol.
Yeah.
So you drink those, and that was pretty fun.
So I didn't bring it today because I didn't want this. I didn't want to drink this warm, but so we went to try to get mealworms for our anole today. They didn't have them. I don't know how this thing's still alive.
Yep, real quick.
Yeah.
Florida man, aka Disney's Gaston, dead after launching fireworks off his head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it
Yep.
happens. So there was one of those beer peddler stores or whatever they're called next to it, and they had the Victory Storm King. So I was like, that's my favorite beer. I have to get that. But I don't want to drink that warm, so
Yeah.
I'll bring a couple next week.
Oh, at the beer fest, Omegang had one of their stouts.
Yeah.
It was they had goat milk stout, and then they had the Queen something porter. It was the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it was the Game of Thrones porter. It was a cherry porter. It was actually really good.
Was that brewery like as well known prior to when they started releasing Game of Thrones related beers?
If you drank craft beer, yes.
Okay.
But like if you were just a regular occasional, like they're pretty big in the area, like the East Coast, like the northern East Coast.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a
Like the Mid Atlantic
yeah,
region.
like Dogfish Head. Like if you're
Okay.
a craft beer, you go for them for weird beers. So they have like 2 sets of beers. I've always thought they have now their Game of Thrones beers, which are more mild beers, like anyone can drink them. And then they have
For
all
the
their,
ladies too.
yeah. Then they have all their crazy shit. But like their most like well known beer is their Hennepin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's real good.
Before the ladies maybe think of at work. I work with this one like real crotchety old lady, which I mean she would describe herself that way. And she always, whenever she comes to talk to me, she always like puts her hand on my shoulder, and she like said something today. She was like, I don't want to sexually harass you. You're only supposed to touch people with 2 fingers, or it's sexual harassment.
Really?
so that was like the joke the rest of the day. Be like, oh, wait, I want to get your attention, but I'm only going to touch you with 2 fingers.
Yeah. They have a. Have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I've never seen that show.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. But they had a sexual harassment training thing.
Yeah.
Because their bar went on a list of bars in Philadelphia that make women feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and And Frank, who's played by Danny DeVito, is staring at like the lady who's giving it breast.
Yeah.
Like he's like staring, and like someone calls him out on it. And he's like, an occasional glance is okay. And like they cut to him. He's just staring like wide eyed. And then he comes down and excuse me, he has just a robe on.
Yeah.
And he's like talking to his lawyer about like all his sexual harassment, and his robe pops open. And you see like this big black bar, and he's like, Larry, how quick can you get down here? The Hyatt. Oh, I just showed a lady giving sexual harassment training my dong. Yeah, so it's like no one cared about it at all.
Yeah, I think that's how it would go in my office.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of thoughts when we were talking about all that, but I feel like I'm trying to get all sort of evil character Disney shirts for Disney. I haven't found a Scar was right shirt yet.
Have you taken your podcast enhancing drugs?
I didn't. Yeah, no, I don't know if I have this cold or it's allergies or what it is, but my nose is just real. I have that thing where like your nose is blocked, but it's running, but you can't breathe in. And then like so I just have to walk around while I'm podcasting because when you stand up and then it clears up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like an Afrin sort of night.
So Scar was right.
Yeah, I'm looking for a Scar was right shirt. I'm sure it exists. Because if you think about it, he kind of was right because they were trying. I mean, their lies are basically a bunch of racists, right? They were trying to oppress the hyenas. They basically redlined them into like a certain area, like they marginalized them sort of off the map basically, and then they just gave them scraps to eat.
So you're gonna Scar, Gaston,
Probably like Darth Vader they have now.
Oh right.
I think we actually got Sam a Darth Vader hoodie that's kind of cool because it goes completely over your face and like you can see through it. So,
yeah. Do you think they're going to re-edit all the I don't want to talk about re-editing Star Wars movies like we did last week, but do you think they're eventually going to re-edit it so it makes him look less of a tyrant?
So I didn't realize that. I don't know if we talked about this on when we were talking about it, but how much. I mean, it makes sense, but how much like the Empire is based on like the Nazis? Like, do we talk about that stuff?
No.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because, I watched this one like video essay of a few channels on YouTube I called or watch now call their stuff about films video essays. That's what I'm calling it from now on. It's not a YouTube video.
It sounds much more intelligent.
Yeah. I watched a video essay about how well sort of it started with the premise about how Disney now that like they own Star Wars, how like they have like first order stormtroopers walking through Disney and it's like this big fun thing, and like how it's real weird that like Disney sells like basically fascism to like children. But and sort of the ways they like morphed it a little bit. So
you were talking about this before, yeah.
But the one thing that's really interesting is they talked about how the original Empire was based on the Nazis, and how because the thing about that time period, it was the 1970s, so it was only 30 years since World War II. It wasn't 60 to 70 years ago. It was like 70 years ago, like it was now. So it was sort of much more obvious to people, at the time, like what they were going for. And then the other thing that was interesting too is that what we think of as like the Nazi sort of like when you see the Nazis in movies, like it's not really based on the Nazis. It's based on this one German filmmaker that was like a Nazi propaganda person who basically created like the image that we think of like around the Nazis today and a lot of the Nazi symbolism. So that was pretty interesting.
Did I ever tell you my theory about how I think that the Empire had made the right choice?
In what way?
So before the Empire, like everyone was arguing and there was war, and they mentioned all the different wars, especially the Jedi Wars.
Well, is that canon or was that stuff that was
no? This is in the prequels.
Okay,
how they have the Jedi Wars, and then even in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh, that's true. It was still like the Republic then, right?
Yeah, they had the Republic, but they had the only place that didn't really get conquered is hut space.
Yeah.
But they
Fucking
have
huts.
all these different areas in the universe. They were warring and all this other stuff, and the Empire comes in and settles all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an occupation force. Like they show it as an occupation force.
Yeah.
But there's other than the rebels,
Mhm.
there's no war.
Yeah.
You know, so it is like when the Emperor is talking about it, he's like an era of peace.
Yeah. Well, it's that. I mean, fascism doesn't come for nothing. I mean, the Nazis rose to power because you had, the reparations from World War One, and then like the Weimar Republic that like massively failed, and then they brought people back. They brought Germany back to glory. That's why. I mean, people didn't just hate the Jews; like they loved being back to glory, and then
Yeah.
that was like a side effect.
It is kind of crazy how other than the actual war it caused,
Yeah.
like there was a bit of peace. I mean,
Yeah.
not for most people, but there was a bit of peace, as in like no countries were going to war. I'm not talking about Nazis. I'm talking about
The Empire.
Yeah, the Empire.
Yeah.
No, there was no peace
Yeah.
when did they for anyone, but the Empire.
Holy Casa is not pro Nazis,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Just
We're pro pancake.
officially. Yeah.
We're pro pancake.
Did you hear the bacon pancake song?
Yeah, of course.
It's awesome.
What am I?
Did you hear? Have you heard? I don't know. So there's this great cover of it that's like really this fleshed out bacon pancake song. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, completely off topic.
Yeah.
After my 5K,
Yeah.
we went to a little diner, and the special was chicken and waffles. And I'm a chicken and waffle man.
I've never had chicken and waffles.
And I asked the lady, and I go, hey, how are the chicken and waffles? She goes, waffles excellent, chicken not that good.
Huh.
And I go, awesome, thanks for being honest. 25% dip.
You know where you get the best chicken sandwiches?
Where?
KFC.
Yeah.
So I feel like people go to Chick-fil-A because it's real. I don't know. They got the billboards and like it seems nice. I feel like KFC gets a bad rap, but I had a chicken sandwich from KFC over the summer. It was like a whole fucking piece of chicken between like on a hamburger bun. It was great. It was great chicken.
Yeah.
I
I still like it. I haven't been to KFC
Yeah.
since 2 weeks after I graduated college.
So if you go get, I forget what they're called. They're like these $5 sandwiches. Get one of the sandwiches.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I got KFC. I brought it to work, and it was unmistakable. It was the rib meat. There was a spinal column connected to it, like an extra long spinal column,
Oh.
and on the end of that was a piece of brain.
Yeah. So don't get that.
Yeah, so I haven't eaten KFC since.
Just get the sandwich.
Yeah, the boneless, skinless chicken. I don't know. Anytime I pull into a KFC, I'm like, I can't do this.
It's like a whole fucking chicken breast.
Boneless
sandwich.
though, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Um,
I could probably eat 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, so I shouldn't, but they're delicious.
or you could eat one KFC sandwich.
I don't know.
And
After
you'd feel
this,
better.
we'll go get some KFC sandwiches.
I wish, man. They'll probably close by then. Like that Arby's that was a liar last year.
I wasn't a liar. You're just a lazy idiot.
Couldn't go in. It's bullshit. Yeah. So I did a lot of pumpkin stuff this weekend.
Yeah. I only have one pumpkin, and I didn't have
Yeah.
to pick it.
Yeah. Well, so that's the problem, right? Because there's all these different pumpkin farms around, and like they all have their own gimmicks. They're all kind of bullshit in a way. Like
You pay for the hayride. You pay $1 billion for per pound per pumpkin.
Yeah.
And then they have apple cider donuts at the end.
yeah. Why do they all have apple cider donuts? Like, why doesn't somebody do something different?
They're delicious.
Yeah, I guess. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, because we always went to Linville because all South Philly people have to go to Linville every year. Or, like they themselves turn into pumpkins, I think, and then other people pick them and shit. But we wanted to actually pick a pumpkin this year because at Linvilla, you go, there's like a hayride and shit, but then it just brings you back to the store where you can just buy a pumpkin off a shelf of pumpkins like you can at like Walmart, but you pay like 3 times as much for it at least. So it's kind of dumb. But you have to go there because all South Philly people have to go there. It's I think it's like their mecca. I'm pretty sure.
See, I'm a Johnson's Farm guy, which is like the Jersey
Yeah.
Lynn Villa. So I go there, and I
Yeah.
remember now all the pumpkins are cut off the
Yeah.
vine. They're all cut off the vine.
Yeah.
I remember going as a kid 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You cut your own pumpkin. You broke
Yeah.
that fucking vine yourself. And then I remember like picking the pumpkins, and my dad used to pull this trick, and he finally told us like there was a trick. He'd be like, they're gonna load us in the car, and we go get some apple cider donuts,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, they're in the trunk. What we didn't tell us is that he went to Walmart the night before,
Yeah.
and he bought pumpkins for like $3.
Oh, so smart.
Yeah, he bought pumpkins for $3.
That's what I'm
When
doing.
you're a young kid, you don't know that shit, you know. So it's like he kind of steered us towards like the pumpkins that were like in his trunk. Hey, they're gonna load it in the trunk, and then
Yeah.
you go as a young kid. You go, all right, cool. You go get some apple cider donuts, and then you get home. They pop the trunk. You got 2 pumpkins in there. Like, all right.
Yeah. No. Allie's making tinfoil hat theories about kids' YouTube videos. She would definitely notice the pumpkin difference.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah. No. Yeah. She would get the pumpkins back and be like, oh, there's all this dirt on this pumpkin. There's a little dent in this side.
See, we
This is
didn't
bullshit.
See, Allie's like that though. We didn't care.
Yeah.
We were like, fuck it. Like, we're spending time with our dad. You know,
Yeah.
we're going pumpkin. Like this day's fun.
Yeah.
The pumpkin didn't. You know.
Yeah. So we also went to Johnson's farm this weekend.
You went to Johnson's too?
Yeah. Enlin Villa.
Like down the street from me, Johnson's. Yeah.
Yeah. We passed by all of your previous homes.
Yeah.
So go to Johnson's farm is passing by JD's apartment 2 apartments ago, which was the closest to my house, and then his apartment where the studio originally started, which was which was not that far from my house, and then we essentially passed by his new house, which is the furthest away that he's lived.
Yeah, I think I live 2 blocks off of 70.
He moves about 7 minutes further away every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
Eventually, he'll be down the shore.
I'm stuck here for now. I'll be, in 8 years, I'll be in the water.
Yeah. So
I'm just ordering another beer.
so we passed by all those places, and then
Who'd you go to Johnson's with?
nobody, just the 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
So,
When did you go?
Sunday.
You should have just called me.
I was thinking about it, but then I was thinking about like, oh, what's the chance? Because I think about when we were driving, and I was like, what's the chance he's like dressed and ready to go? Like I was like, I'm not even gonna bother him because I feel like
How long have you known me?
Yeah.
What time do I get up?
Well, I figured you'd be up, but I figured
Yeah.
you'd either be doing something or you'd just be like sitting
Well,
around.
what time did you go?
Not until like around like late, not until late morning.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah. I was home. I had left the house at like 7.
Yeah.
Got into the coffee shop and left there around 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was definitely ready. Thank you.
Okay. So
I have a beer made.
yeah,
Actually, if she heard that, she'd kick me out of the house.
yeah,
She totally heard that.
yeah. The rest of the podcast will be just me talking from this point on.
Kevin's just gonna stop over the studio and go, here by myself.
Yeah. So anywho, yes, we went to both. So because we went to Lynn Villa initially, because we wanted to do there's this witch hayride, because
I love the hayride. It's my favorite part.
yeah. So I don't know. We were debating about whether we could do a haunted hayride with the kids. I think Sam could handle it. I think he'd be pretty scared, but then he would think it was funny afterwards. I think Allie would never sleep in her own room again. So he's on to do that. So there's a witch hayride where they're like friendly witches at the end and like roast marshmallows and shit. Although we got to the end, and so it was us, Mary, her husband, and her kids. And it's pretty fun because I don't know, like little kids are weird because I still feel like Adam and Arthur don't like play that much, or Adam and Sam don't play that much together anymore. Arthur's Mary's husband. I feel like Adam and Sam don't play that much together, but then like but then they act like it was just them hanging out. Like then he told everyone the rest of the weekend that he went on this hayride with Adam. But I feel like they hardly interacted on the hayride or like the whole day. And then like Adam did the same thing. Adam keeps saying he wants to go over to Sam's house and stuff.
Well, it's just real quick. I kind of want to have a kid just so I could do all this stuff again, like relive my childhood.
no.
You know, like I want to, so no one can be like, well, don't you think you're a little old to do this by yourself? Like, but now I have a child.
Exactly.
Like, don't you think they're a little young? But now I have a child.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's one of the big selling points.
Yeah, like I think this week I'm gonna go get some apple cider donuts.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday night I'm gonna go get some apple cider donuts.
On next week's Holy Casa, JD making a baby.
Actually, we won't have whole wheat Costa for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, true. Yeah, when are you leaving?
I leave. Big 30th birthday coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're old.
So, yeah.
Old as fuck.
So maybe Saturday night we could have a beer.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm working till like 7, but after that,
I'll be up.
all right. Good.
I'll be packing.
Good.
And then Sunday on my birthday,
Maybe we can podcast on Saturday.
maybe. So Sunday on my birthday, I leave for Rome, and then from Rome I go to Florence.
Okay.
And I'm nervous because I've never really left North America.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Canada. I went to the Bahamas, but that was when I was like 17.
Yeah.
And that
That's is that where is that one of the where's that at? Is that in the Caribbean?
Bahamas, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like 2 hours south of Florida.
Yeah.
You didn't even need a passport.
North America ish.
Yeah. So I'm nervous about that because I get done at our flight's at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
We get in Rome at 7 a.m. But it's only 7-hour flight, 7.5-hour flight.
Yeah.
And then so I've never like my Italian's terrible. So I should be able to get around, and I'll probably cry the first because it's like it's always been a dream of mine. So like the first thing like I've always thought about Rome is like Italy. Like I never thought I'd ever be there. Like I wanted to go to Chicago, and I was like, I'll never have the fucking money to go to Chicago.
I think you did.
Let alone like Rome. So I go to Chicago because I've always wanted to go there.
What if Dave just tags along the room?
Yeah, that'd be great. Your mic's off, so you can blow your nose.
I wasn't blowing my nose. I'm just gonna wipe it and keep a pile of
pile
tissues,
of
a pile of
tissues.
toilet paper in front of me until the end.
Yeah, so I went to Chicago and I was like, that's amazing. Like I never had that mindset where I could travel, and now I'm going to Rome. Like it's always been a dream of mine to go to Italy, but it's always been like financially like impossible.
Yeah,
and then,
that's
like,
a lot of money.
Yeah, and then like eventually like I just went, shit, I make enough money, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty exciting. So I leave on my birthday, and then that Monday night we have reservations for a steakhouse in Florence.
That's cool.
And they don't serve steak like from a menu.
Yeah.
They just ask how many people are eating steak.
Huh.
And they
That's
give you
cool.
they look at you and they give you what they assume you're gonna eat, and then
Okay.
side dishes.
That's what I want, man. Because I make terrible food choices. I want someone to just tell me what they think I would like. Because I'll probably like it. I'm pretty agreeable. I eat most things.
Yeah. Rachel went there and she said, "How many for steak?" And like she told them like how many for steak, and they brought enough for like 3 or 4 people,
Huh.
and then sides. And then I'm like, "That's what I want. How many for steak? 2, medium.
Okay.
All right."
How many for steak? 5. It's just you here, sir. No, 5.
So that's like my birthday. So that's like my birthday. Then we're going to Rome. But here's the thing: I went to the beer fest in Merchantville the same weekend as the Rome Beer Fest, a week before I traveled to Italy.
Huh. So you missed the Rome Beer Fest.
Yeah, by 1 week.
Be all Italian beer anyway.
Yeah.
Be real greasy and shit. Real hairy.
Oregano everywhere.
Yeah. Be terrible.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
So you'll be there for so how long are you gonna be there?
6 days.
Okay.
So 1 day's travel.
Okay.
So we get there Monday, and then we leave next Sunday. We leave Sunday at 8 a.m., so we have to be up and out of the hotel at 4 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we get back 7 hours later at 2:30 at JFK.
On Sunday or Monday?
Sunday.
Okay.
But it took off Monday, too.
Yeah.
So
I should take it off that Monday. Then we could have podcasted all day. We could have a podcast marathon. That's what we need. We need a live event.
we do.
Maybe that'll get people.
We can do it at a shared universe. Hashtag a shared universe.
Because I feel like we did a live event, right? Then if we we could even live stream on Facebook.
But we'll need a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would need probably a few guests.
Yeah.
But so if we could put together a live event, right? I feel like people would watch that because it would just pop up. We could stream parts of it on Snapchat and Instagram because then it pops up in people's phones. There's only people we know, but still,
Yeah.
no one we know watches.
I guess I'd have to install Snapchat.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you had Snapchat, you would have seen my Gaston shirt earlier because I put it on Snapchat.
I know.
Um,
The only reason I deleted my Snapchat is because he used my data plan.
you know what Snapchat's doing now is bullshit.
Oh, the commercials? Terrible.
Well, the commercials, but they also do. I don't mind them as much. I guess I'm used to them from Instagram, but they're doing the thing that the reason why I deleted Twitter, which is that like if you don't go on for long enough, then it'll pop up and it'll be like, oh, this person and this person posted stories today.
Yeah, Instagram does that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm on Instagram all the time, so I never get it from Instagram.
I still get it.
Huh.
And I'm on there daily.
But yeah, I get it from Snapchat sometimes. But I kind of like seeing the Snapchat stories, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that as it doesn't bother me as much as when Twitter used to do it.
A friend of mine almost got a divorce because of Snapchat.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Another friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
But he was on all these like private Snapchat rooms and everything, like looking at porn.
Yeah.
And like she's like, "Can I borrow your phone?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." And she went on like she got like she wasn't looking.
Yeah.
But he got a private message from Snapchat people.
Yeah.
And like it was like, "Hey, like what you see today?" Like it wasn't to him.
Yeah.
It was just to like the people on the, "Hey, like what you see today? Like pay $5.99 a month and you could see even more." And it's like he showed me the Snapchat. I don't know what else she could have showed more. Yeah. Like I don't know, inside her, but and like they
I don't find that interesting.
Yeah, they got into like a big argument, like, "Oh, you have to delete your Snapchat," and then.
I just would have deleted my Snapchat. I there's arguments that you can't win.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, but not the porn stuff, but the other half of that argument happened to me at work recently, where we got an email from like one of our bosses about something that we basically had screwed up.
Is it another penis folder?
Nah. This is like a pretty benign thing, but it was like a minor thing, but it was something that we messed up. And my coworker that's always pretty mad about things.
We all have one.
Yeah. I walked in, I still had my bag on, and she's like, "I need to talk to you in your office." And I'm like, "Okay." So we walked back to my office, and she's like, "Oh, did you see that email?" And I was like, "No, like I just got here, like what email?"
You started 7:30. It was 7:32.
So, and then it was basically about how like this email that like one of our bosses sent and all this stuff, and I read it and I was like honest, and then like I looked at what they were talking about, and then I was like okay, I was like we're just gonna ignore it. Like maybe I'll just send some generic response back, and then she's like, "Oh, how are you not more mad?" And I was like, honestly, I mean, like we kind of screwed up on this one. Like this isn't one we should fight. Like there's a lot of stuff we argue about. Like we just want this one to go away. We just want to let this one go.
A, we screwed up about it. B, I've been clocked in for 2 minutes.
Yeah. So and then like that's what happened. Like essentially they emailed later like what happened. I was like, "Oh, it was my fault. I should have taken care of it." And then she answered back and she was like, "Oh no, it's my fault. I should have taken care of it." And then they were like, "Okay, we'll just do this next time." We're like, "Okay, that's fine."
There's nothing.
And it was fine.
Then I learned this. There's nothing bosses like more than you go, "You know what? That was my fault." And they go, "All right, cool."
Yeah, that's basically what we did.
I've done it at work. Oh, a couple weeks ago, my supervisor, we have these wipes. Do you know what OTC is? Occupational training.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have these wipes that we sell, and like, so we actually pay OTC because they do all those menial tasks.
Yeah.
Like what like the people get paid, like it's way too much to sit there and fold wipes for like shifts upon shifts.
Yeah.
So we send like 4,000 wipes to OTC, and then they fold them and bag them, put labels. You know what I mean? And so we do that, and so my supervisor sent wipes out, and then got them back, and then they did them, and so he had to find more wipes, and he asked one guy, he's like, "Hey, did you see my wipes? Like I had a pallet ready."
Yeah.
And usually like I will walk away and I'll just go no, and then I'm like, well, help me look for him. And I go, because anything bosses hate more is you go no. Like they want you to have some sort of idea,
Yeah.
or at least try to help them. You were a manager,
Yeah.
so I figured like because I knew he was going to ask me next, I was like, I'll help you look for him,
Yeah.
and I go, you know what? And I didn't say no or anything, and I knew he was coming to me. And I go, I'll help you look for him.
Yeah.
And he goes, so no. And I go, no. He's like, next time just say no. And I go, and I just walk away. He's like, he's like, get back here, help me look for him. I go, no, I can't even deal with this right now. Like I can't. Like I wanted to take some sort of responsibility, or just like not give him a no answer. And he's like, it was unacceptable.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't win for losing.
Now, I actually feel like I work with a few people that are real angry now, so it makes me feel better. I like being the calming person.
No, see, you're not an angry person. You're a negative person. There's a big
I'm
difference.
a negative person.
Yeah, you're a negative person.
But I've sort of embraced that too, because I used to every work day. I'm like, guys, this is how today's gonna go wrong. I was like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. It's gonna be fucking terrible. And this is gonna happen. And I can see it all. And then usually somebody's like, why don't we wait to see if it happens first?
Yeah.
And then none of it happens. And I'm like, you guys can thank me because my negativity kept all that from happening.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you're a negative person, and I say it all the time. Like, Kev, shut up. You're a negative person. But on the other side of the argument, if I needed help with something, I know I could call you.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll
like,
complain
it's fine.
about it.
Yeah, you'll complain about it. Not to me.
Yeah.
But
now there's been some days that have been going great, and I'm like, you know what, guys, today's going pretty good. I'm gonna stay negative about it. Stay good that way. Yeah. But now we hired this medical assistant recently that's fucking awesome. She's the best medical assistant I've ever worked with. But she's like real passionate about it. Like if something happens she doesn't like, or something goes wrong, she's like flips out about it, and then makes me feel better. Like I'm not the only one that's flipping out about stuff. That same coworker, the following morning, basically the same thing happened. As soon as I walked in, she was real pissed off about something, and then, but I don't know, just when somebody else is mad about it, because like something I would have gotten mad about, but since she's mad, I could just be like, you know what, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just touched her with 2 fingers. Yeah. That's HR rules, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a couple things, and then we're going to take care of that problem. And it's all going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Whereas if I just walked in and nobody else was negative, I would have had to be the negative person.
Yeah. See, people are saving your life.
Yeah. See, and likewise, the other 9 out of 10 days when I'm real negative, nobody else has to be.
Right.
I can take care of it.
So, yeah. Well, you're sniffling. You got to do less sniffling.
Yeah. I keep trying to lean away, but yeah. I think I'm still.
The last time you leaned away, leaned back in, sniffled.
And then sniffled. Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah. So you want to hear something that's real messed up? And this is all my fault. This is 100% my fault.
Yeah.
And usually it doesn't. Like you do something like if you do caulk, like you caulk up a bathtub or something, that's like wear gloves. And like the caulk just washes off real easy or something. Like paint, wear gloves, and the paint just washes off real easy anyway. Yeah. So I did foam around the door.
That stuff never comes off.
Dude, I did foam around the door, and I go, sure, it's gonna come right off.
No,
I spent the first 3 hours of work trying to peel it off. It's still over my hands.
Yeah, no,
I can't have sex with these hands.
No.
Yeah, I can't have sex until these hands are clean.
Yeah.
So the foam's all over. Actually, it's way better because I put Vaseline on my hands today, and then I put gloves over top, so I stopped picking at it. Yeah. And like a lot of it, like kind of like wore off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I washed my hands.
It'll come off when your skin layers come off that it's on.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You're gonna have to grow it off, basically.
Yeah, and like I folded all the towels because I figured like folding the towels like that coarseness would like, get it off.
No.
I used a pumice stone. I wore out the pumice stone.
Yeah,
like the pumice stone's smooth, and the foam shit. The house, you don't hear a anymore.
Yeah.
But my hands are just annoying.
Yeah, no, you'd have to. That's the one thing you have to wear gloves.
I can't touch my girlfriend with these hands.
It never comes off.
It's just terrible.
I mean, it's a little texturing.
It's not. It's terrible. I can't even do it. I tried to scratch myself.
It's like those guys that get like the speed bumps, like implanted under the skin of their penis, because then it's almost like having a sex toy in your penis.
I've never heard of that.
So it's not something we do, but it's a thing that I know exists.
I assume it's cosmetic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put little things underneath the skin, so it's like almost like if you had like some sort of bulkier
Oh, I
device on it.
understand how
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we can do in a future Holy Costa episode.
Not on me. Like an unsuspected. Like Carmen. We'll get it
Yeah.
on Carmen.
Yeah. Just get him drunk, put him in.
Get him drunk. Give him $50.
Yeah.
I don't use that thing anyway.
Yeah.
So
Hey, is he still dating that girl?
no,
Yeah, what happened?
no. Well, she pulled the old. It's not you. It's me. And if I keep dating you, I'm gonna fall in love with you. And I just got out of a relationship.
It was probably him.
No, it's just.
Yeah.
I think she won. Oh, then she started. She started dating a giant black man.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I mean, Carmen's not that.
So Carmen's like, oh, I don't think she wanted me,
Yeah.
a tiny white guy.
Yeah. So he can't really beat himself up about that. I mean, she
Yeah.
just had different interests.
Oh yeah. So that's not good.
Yeah.
So back to a conversation earlier. Have you ever other than Mexico, because that's still North America?
Yeah.
Have you ever left the country before?
Nah, Mexico and Canada. That's all.
Yeah. So
Just places contiguous to the United States.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like non-NAFTA countries.
No, I'm totally free trade agreement. That's all I'm on board for.
So a friend of mine, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she goes, "Remember I went to Ireland?" And I go, "Yeah, but they speak English."
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's fine.
That's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So you're not in America, but they speak English.
Yeah.
So a lot of people in Rome speak English,
Yeah.
but not a lot of people in Florence, which I'm fine. I can get around. Like I can order coffee and food and eat and drink and all that other stuff, and I can just be courteous and polite.
Yeah.
But I'm just nervous because I never left the country.
So there's a lot of super interesting stuff about if you look at like Vatican City in Rome, how it's like its own country, and there's like a lot of weird facts because of the fact that basically it's an old male population and like a lot of other weird like little things about it. The thing I was thinking about is totally unrelated though. It was actually a London related thing. There was this. This is definitely a YouTube video. This is not a video essay.
Is this it's YouTube? I was going to ask you if it's a video
No.
essay.
This was, you might have seen it because you watched CGP Grey stuff before, right?
Who?
CGP Grey.
No.
You watch this stuff? Oh,
No.
he's pretty good. He did this thing about Rome, or I'm sorry, about the city of London inside London. So the original city of London predates recorded basically well not
London.
really not really recorded history, but it goes back to the Dark Ages.
Yeah, London. Lundene.
Yeah,
London.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it basically goes back to like before the Magna Carta. So there's a line in the Magna Carta that London basically will forever preserves its original rights and traditions. And the reason why is because it sprung up as like a Roman city. And so it had big Roman walls, and it was essentially just never conquered. And so it's been around for a couple thousand years now. It's like an actual still around Roman city, and it actually still exists. And what happened was when they after the Magna Carta, they built another city. Oh shit! It's another like big name that people would recognize.
Wessex?
Maybe Westminster. I don't know.
Westminster?
I don't know. They built another big city, basically like a few miles away from it, to try to take their business away, since that was like how they survived. They were like this big business city, and eventually that city just grew around London and around the walls of London and engulfed it, and that's what we know as the city of London today. But that original city of London still exists. If you go to London, there's like a couple square mile chunk that is not part of the United Kingdom, that is not part of London, that is its own thing.
Still today?
Yeah, still today. And you
What's that called? An enclave or something like that? Where it's like
it's something like that. And you can actually still see, like, they still have the original stone dragons that like guarded the city, and there's still pieces of the original Roman wall that are like preserved like around the city. And the King of England, or the Queen or whoever, can't just walk into London. They have to ask permission in this ceremony, in this ancient ceremony, if they want to go into the city of London. And they have their own mayor who runs the city. He's like the right honorable Lord Mayor of London or something. But it's essentially just a giant like corporate. It's so the city's run by corporations basically, because it used to be run by guilds and now it's run by corporations. So it's essentially like if you took like a super wealthy financial district and made it its own city. That's basically what it is. So like almost no one lives there. Like all the votes for the government and the mayor and stuff are all owned by the corporations who like give them out to their executives and stuff. But it basically gets its rights from time immemorial. So they can basically never take them away.
Yeah, that shit doesn't happen in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Indians just got rolled over. So, but if the Indians had big walls, maybe they'd still be around.
Two things.
Yeah.
I want to go to England real bad.
Yeah.
Like I would love to go to London. I would love to check it out. I just want to see how the other half lives. You know, like I would love to go to London or like those crazy little towns. And the second, Hadrian's Wall wasn't even that impressive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like a small wall. And the Romans were basically like, if they climb the wall, that slows them down. It was only as a landmark. And if they actually had to fight, they actually had to, like, because it went across, they'd actually have to climb the wall, and that would slow them down enough where they can actually just, like, put up, like, a basic defense.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I guess, I mean, that area they didn't hold on to that area for very long, I don't think. So, like, relative to everything else. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty far from Rome. That's, like, a pretty far out there outpost.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so back to pumpkin patches. So we went to Johnson's farm for the first time. It's kind of bullshit. So if you go to Linville, I feel like you know what you're getting into, because like trying to drive there, like before you even get there, it's fucking crowded. Like you can't even get into the parking lot. You get into the parking lot, there's a million cars. You just circle around, look for a spot. You park like a million miles away.
Johnson's is never crowded. There's a lot of people there, but it's not crowded.
So that's the trap, because So we went to the aquarium Saturday morning. Then we hung out at Mary's house. Then we went to Linville at night. So
the Camden Aquarium?
Yeah, Camden Aquarium. So Sunday morning, we're like getting in the car, and we literally asked kids. We're like, guys, do you guys want to pick pumpkins, or do you want to like go to the mall or something? They're like, we want to go to the mall. They're basically like, fuck pumpkins. So then we're like, well, I don't know, maybe we should go pick pumpkins. And they were like, no, we want to go to the mall. And we're like, man, let's go, because we figured it wasn't that far away. Because it's only like 10 minutes from the Cherry Hill Mall. It's like it's not far from there, maybe a little bit further, but not very far. So like we'll go there. If it's really crowded, then we'll just go to the mall. It's fine. Like, and then we'll get pumpkins at Walmart. We'll just pull a real costume move and just get pumpkins at Walmart.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So we go, show up. There's like, it's like you can drive right up to it. There's not a big traffic jam like at Linville. Pulled in, got a parking spot right up front. We're like, okay, well, this looks fine. This looks like it's not a big deal. And then we go in, and the first thing is bullshit. So at Linville, it's like a $1 donation to like get in for the kids to get in the playground. The adults are free because obviously you have to go in if your kids go in there. They sell for the hayride. They sell tickets. It's one ticket a person, and it's like $4.50. To get into the playground, it's 2 tickets per child. So now for 2 kids, it's $18 to get into the fucking playground, and the adults
at Linville?
At Johnson's farm.
And
the adults also need tickets.
Really?
Yeah, just one ticket for adults. What's that mean? That would have been for the kids to go into the playground. It would have been $27. That's ridiculous. So anyways, that was the first trap.
Oh, it's a big money making scheme.
Yeah, but then we get there and there's like a little bit of line for the tickets. We're like, oh, that looks fine. That'll be like 10 minutes. We get in line 10 minutes. We get our hayride tickets. We're like, oh, this isn't that crowded. This is fine.
You buy them at the cash registers, right?
I don't know. So
you should have got me. Yeah. Should have got me. I would have showed you all the tricks.
So then, and meanwhile, so there's sort of like a wall of stuff. And then there's like this big sort of barn where they sell the tickets. And then you sort of get the tickets and you go through the barn to the other side. Once we paid $18 for our hayride tickets, Then we walked to the other side, and then we saw that the line for the hayride went out to the fucking parking lot. So we basically walked back out to our car to stand in line. And then we're standing in line, and again, the kids are like, let's just go to the mall. Like, so we're basically standing there like, you know what? Fuck, we just lost $18. Like, whatever. At least we know for next time. Let's just go to the mall. Who even cares? Nobody cares about pumpkins. But they were like, well, let's wait it out. So we waited it out. It was about an hour in line, which is like crazy.
I think it was what a nice day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like an hour in line, and then it was fine. And like you said, so I don't even think it's that the pumpkins were cut. I really think they just get pumpkins and just lay them out on the ground.
No, they grow them there.
Yeah, I mean they definitely grow them there because you saw the pumpkin vines and stuff. But I feel like once the pumpkins are picked, they just put additional pumpkins out.
Probably.
So we went, we got some pumpkins. That was fine. Allie wanted a really big pumpkin.
Wait, you paid Johnson's prices for pumpkins?
Yeah.
How'd you even afford to get here tonight?
I don't know. We bought like $29 worth of pumpkins. I mean, there was a gourd involved too, so gourds are a little pricier. But yeah, we got two big, we got two big, two little pumpkins. So because we did figure we would buy any additional carving pumpkins at Walmart. That was discussed. But Jersey's a little bit of a weird place. So every time I find a place where I feel like I don't like people, then I find a place where there's weirder people. Because, I initially knew, like 2 friend groups ago, I knew a lot of people like in like the far Northeast, and like I knew some people that were like real trashy. And then I met like South Philly people, and I was like, "Oh, those guys were classy as fuck." That I used to know. Like compared to some of these South Philly people, like those were fine gentlemen.
What the Northeast people were
Yeah.
fine? Yeah.
Yeah, like fine gentlemen. And then so we're on this hayride, and I don't know, man. There's just certain sections of Jersey where everyone's inbred. Like,
Oh no, Jersey has some big white trash sections.
no, but like inbred in all ways. So like I swear, to the left of us on this hayride was people that were like those inbred fops, like the people that are like have always had money their entire life and now have no idea how to interact in society. Like something's just off about them. Like that was people on the left of us, and on the right of us was literal rednecks. Like the dude had a Ford shirt. The other dude was like, "Oh, I got this Ford shirt I picked up the other day for you." And he's like, "Oh, what's on it?" He's like, "Doesn't matter. It says Ford on it. You're gonna wear it." The guy's like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And then they were singing country songs and shit, and we were in the middle of it.
But here's the thing about those people.
Yeah.
They might be like rednecks, but they're lovable people.
Oh, I would have totally. They were cool. I would have totally hung out with those people.
They're lovable people,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they're not getting a job next to you at work,
Yeah.
but they're lovable people. Like you could go to a barbecue every weekend,
Yeah.
and as long as you bring Miller Lite,
Yeah.
they're like Kevin, and they'll have like funny nicknames like Kevin Smevin, you
Yeah.
know, like there's our Kevin, and they would call you like high class, like wealthy person because
Yeah.
you live in a house.
Yeah. No, I totally hung out with those guys. But my point was, we're on a hayride, and we're the only people whose parents weren't related to each other. And it was on both directions. Like I don't know, it was like above socially and below socially.
Yeah, the rich person's so it's so that poor blood doesn't get in
Exactly.
there, and the poor people are just like better than nothing.
Yeah. So that's large portions of Jersey. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
if you look at Rachel and I,
Yeah.
like you look at us, not even stare at us, like for a passing glance, you would definitely go, they're definitely not related. We look nothing alike.
Yeah. So I mean, people can't have kids in Jersey. You're gonna move out of the state.
Yeah. Well, no, I live in like I guess an upper class town. So
Yeah, I don't think this. Well, I mean, you're close to Johnson's Farm. A lot of weird people there.
well, it's the other side of Johnson's
Yeah.
farm, in the woods.
Yeah. No, I like. Yeah, I kind of like this area. I feel like, and we were talking about this the other day.
For children,
Yeah.
it's definitely better.
Yeah,
I live right down the street from a school too, so
I feel like, after I'm done paying child support in a couple decades, I would totally buy a house in Jersey. I don't know. I feel like it's definite possibility. I mean, I'll only be in my late 40s, right? I won't be 50 yet, even.
No.
So it's definitely worth it. I don't know.
I actually have no idea how old you are, so
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I'm 34 now. Sam's about to be
3,
4.
4.
So it's like 14 more years. I actually don't know how child support works. I don't know if it actually does
No,
go up to
it
18 or
it
not.
you can pay up until they're done college.
Yeah.
Either it's 18 if they don't go to college. It
Yeah.
just depends on the laws. This is the laws in New Jersey.
Yeah.
18 if they don't go to college, and then I think it's 21 if they go to college.
Yeah.
21 or 23. But then you also have to pay if they're still in college health insurance until they're 26.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's normal for any kid. So the health insurance stuff.
Yeah, but it's crazy because some parents can't afford it. But then if you think about it, you're like, what kind of parent doesn't want to pay for their kids' health insurance?
Yeah.
My parents.
Yeah. Now, yeah, the health insurance thing's pretty normal. And I feel like, I don't know. I guess who knows what he would do later in life, but I mean, you would assume he'll get a job and stuff. So,
Yeah. Hopefully a good job.
yeah.
So what we learned this week is I like 5Ks, beer, and Kevin will pay Johnson's prices
Yeah.
for bumpkins. So in a week or two, we'll talk to you again. So thanks for listening to this week's Whole Wheat Costa. Oh, I gotta stop it. All right, don't stop.